One is there is a gap with the current legacy health tracks in terms of brand measurements. The second is how is Flipkart helping brands to overcome this challenge, and with our new tool. And then third part is we'll do a demo of this tool, and then explain how you can use this tool for your to shape your brand strategy. Right. So that's kind of the agenda for this keynote. So if you think about from a brand marketer perspective, what's on top of every brand marketer or every marketer's concerns is how does my brand rank in consumers' mind with respect to my competition? And there are multiple ways traditionally that brand marketers have used to get a feel for this or get a measurement for this. And if you look at the traditional way or the legacy way of measuring this, it typically involves a panel of, let's say, a 500 or 1,000 users, and try to measure the brand health from the surveys done to that panel. Now, in this world, Flipkart in India, being a representative of e-commerce, we have 250 million consumers and the data about their shopping habits and how they interact with brands and categories throughout their shopping journey, right? So, one side we have a panel of, let's say, a 500 or 1,000 users versus a large panel base, right, from which we can, figure out the brand affinity. Now, the legacy health tracks also use unaided awareness and top of mind awareness as the key measures. While on the other hand, if you look at e-commerce platform, Flipkart's depth of consumer understanding and consumer data, it can help enable much deeper consumer preferences, which are based on actions, specific actions that they take on our platform versus unaided awareness or our top of mind measure. So it's so that's the kind of gap that we feel with our shopping intent understanding of customers, Flipkart can fill. So with that, we have we are launching this new tool called Brand Pulse that is available, and we'll go through the tool and explain how it works. So what it measures, this tool measures the brand awareness, or an awareness index that we have created against for a brand in a particular category and against competitive brands or against other brands in the same category, right? So the question or saying what is the awareness index? So what we have done is we have taken a set of actions that customers take on our platform with respect to a brand, right? And then try to create an index based out of those actions. So what are those actions that are representative of a brand or a customer's understanding of a brand? It could be a branded search. So for example, a customer has searched for with a specific brand name, or it could be that they are looking for certain products on our platform, and then they go and say filter and say show me products only for this particular brand. Or they are not specifically looking for a brand, but they come to our platform and they may find a banner that they find interesting for a particular brand and click on it and take the follow-up actions. Or it could be that they kind of know what they're looking for and they go and browse a certain set of products on our platform, right? So all of these actions indicate a customer's affinity towards a brand, and we are able to consolidate all of those actions into one unified metric which represents the awareness of that brand on that platform, on our platform in a specific category, right? So that's the awareness index, and what this tool does, it shows the awareness index for a brand compared to other brands in the same category. So let me just take you through a quick demo, which is the best way to look at a product. So that's how the tool is, and you'll see a search box, where you can search for a particular brand or a category, and we'll come to it. As you browse down, you'll see some information about what the awareness index is and how you can use the tool, right? So it gives you basic information of what the tool is, what the insight is, and what the metric is. So now let's try some searches where you can search either for a specific brand or you can search for a specific category. So let's try something out, right? So let's say I want to search for mobile, which is a handset category, which is one of the bigger categories. You'll see a set of categories or brands that match that search, right? Or I could search for, let's say, televisions, and I can go to the television category, or I can search for so there could be brands that are active in multiple categories and they would like to see from a category specific view for that brand. And so let's take an example of Nike, which might be prevalent in multiple categories, and then you'll see the Nike brand in multiple categories, and you can click one of them, and we'll do that as well, right? So let's take another example of Puma, which again is selling on our platform in multiple categories. So let's take an example of mobile category, which is basically the handset category, and go and see what this tool gives. So if you and I'll just pause here for a second to kind of absorb what the information is on this page. So if you look at it, there is a graph which shows the top 4 brands in this category and their awareness index for the last 5 weeks, right? So they are color coded. On the right side, you'll see those brands listed along with their rank in this particular category. So in this category, for example, Realme is number 1 and Oppo is number 2, Xiaomi is 3, and Samsung is 4, right? And their awareness score and how it is moving week over week, right? So and all of these are color coded. There is a dotted line that kind of overlapping the pink line in this case. That is the category average. So category average is calculated based on top n brands in that category and averaging them out. So that gives you a basic idea or a reference point on how this category is and how your brand or the top brands in this category are doing with respect to category average and with respect to each other, right? So that's the data that is available. So in this graph, there is the x-axis is the time and y-axis is the awareness index. One more thing you can do on this is to there are 2 different views, a weekly or a monthly view. So you can change the week that you want to go with, or you can change it to a monthly uh, data. And let's say I want to pick July, and now it shows me data for 5 months preceding July, right? So you can see how the awareness is moving across different times and with respect to brands. Now the next thing you can do, for example, I want to search for a specific brand which is not in the top 4, but I want to see how that brand compares to the top 4 brands. So let's take an example in mobiles. I can put Apple, which sells smartphones, and you see, the brand Apple has been added to this, to this metric, and the rank and where it stands with respect to some of the other brands in that category is shown. Now you can go and try a different brand as well, right? So this you can change and add a different brand. So that's the awareness index and how it can be used. The other, so just as a step back, what we did is we selected a category, mobiles, and we saw the top 4 brands, their awareness index, how it moves across times. We can switch to a weekly or a monthly view, and we can also add any other brand in that category that we want to compare against the top 4 brands. Now, the other option is to when you want to start with a particular brand. So let's say we'll take an example of you, which is a brand which sells television. So I can go and just search here, and I'll see view in television. So let's select that, and I get the mapping of that particular brand against the category average. Now, in addition, what I can do is I can add any other specific brand in this category. So let's take, we know that Samsung is a brand which sells a popular television brand. So I am able to add Samsung. and then see how this brand that we added compares to the brand that we started with. Right? In addition, I can add one more. I know Xiaomi also is a popular brand, and then see that Xiaomi is number one in this particular category. I can also add one more and see how LG is doing, with respect to this particular brand we started with. So again, to recap, you can start with a category and see the top 4 brands in the category, and then add one more brand and it sees awareness index. The second option is to start with a particular brand in a category and then add any other brand that would want to do that you want to try it out against that brand that you started with, right? So both of these show the same type of data, which is the awareness index over a period of time, in a particular category. So let's go back to that. So this particular brand pulse is available at brands.flipkart.com. It's an open access to everyone, so there is no login required or there is no special permission required. Now, why use brand pulse, right? And what's the value it adds, right, to a brand marketeer? So one is that it is based on a deterministic data set. It is not based on surveys. It is based on specific customer actions on our platform. We're using a large panel size of all of our customer base that Flipkart has. Then it tracks and e-commerce for many categories has become very, very important now. And it tracks the consumer intent within e-commerce, right? And Flipkart being the representative of e-commerce in India. Of course, the data is high recency. There is not a whole lot of lag in terms of any specific time and when data is available. It is updated on a weekly basis. And of course, it is simple to use and it has open access, right? So these are what makes it valuable for a brand marketer. Now, this is kind of the first of our insights that we want to launch for brands and consumer experiences on commerce. So one of the things that we are looking at adding is this is the kind of top of the funnel in the shopping, which is the brand awareness, and the next step in the journey, as many of you may be aware, is consideration, right? So if you can create a consideration index, and then brands are able to see, for example, right? Let's take a simple case how this can be actionable. So if a brand has a high awareness index but a low consideration index, that means the consumers are aware of the brand, but while they look at the products, they may not be so interested in them. So what could be the action? Some of the potential actions could be maybe the product descriptions, right, are not very good, which is which makes the consumers drop off in that funnel. Or it could be that the pricing are not attractive enough for the consumers, right? So those are the very simple examples of actions that you can take based on these insights. Let's take an alternate view where the brand awareness is low, right, and maybe the consideration is still high. So in that case, maybe a brand marketeer needs to look at running top of mind campaigns, right, or a marketing campaign to help drive that brand messaging for the platform, right, for the particular brand. So this is how we feel these tools can be used, and of course we will look for feedback and from all of you to see how the product is and how we can make it better and more useful. But thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Singhal. We do have questions for you.
Sure.
So I'll start taking questions. So first question that we have is from Mr. Jain. He wants to know if this tool is available for free.
It is available for free. So that's thank you for the easy question to start with.
No, so we do have a lot of questions, don't worry. So next one is from Mr. Nigel. He wants to know, can you add AS, US, and C?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Okay, then I'll have another question. Is the awareness index calculated basis Flipkart data only, or do you have Google Insight searches also embedded in it?
No, this is only based on Flipkart data.
Thank you. The next one is, which is your research partner for this tool? From Mr. Shah.
Yeah, so as I said, this is not research based. This is actual data based. So we have built it based on all the data and the shopping intent that we understand about the users. So there is no other external data being used. It is only Flipkart data being used, and it is available for everyone to use the insights.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Singhal. Thank you for this interesting and enriching session. Now, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our partners, Z5, our powered by partner, our gold partners, Infoweb, Brandwagon, Flipkart, and Jagran Media. Now we'll sign off and take a small break, and we'll be back for another session. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Singhal.
App, and then you just see the news. So that's how the behavior is changing. Many people don't have television in their houses now anymore, right? So these are some of the behaviors that we continuously. So these are the larger ones. Of course, real-time behaviors are very, very nimble. You have to catch them as on the go. Okay, and so much so that sometimes external environments kind of impact behavior so much that you have to be really, really quick at observing as to what's going on and respond to it very quickly. So for example, everybody gives example of COVID, but in my industry, I have seen various such instances. Right, COVID of course is a big thing. So for example, any market movement, right? For a little longer period of time might impact what is the behavior of my consumers. So, net, I have to actually marry an offline behavior at a very large level to an online behavior for a reasonable prediction, right? But to manage an ongoing, business as usual, then those are, the real-time behavior that's going on the digital space is something that we monitor.
To map this behavior online and offline, any investments, any DMP or a CDP, data management platform, or a customer platform?
Yeah, so see, normally we have an entire analytics in place. We have a customer analytics engine in place, and we have online tools also. So, for example, we do have audience targeting, we have analytics in place, online analytics, GA. All these things are there, the basic ones.
The standard.
Yeah.